But I remember like the cup final that year in 2015, Stephen pulling me into his office like the day of the game, just basically telling me not in the squad I'm not making the bench against Cork for that cup final. I actually remember saying like you'll regret that. So I remember telling me out for that after the game. That's the words I said to him. When I put on a Cork jersey, I honestly feel like my happiest seeing Turner's Cross, playing for Cork City. Nothing else matters in terms of like in football. They were giving it back to me, and Johnny just says, "Shawnee, sit down, like sit down, leave it off." And I was like, "Johnny, you shut the fuck up as well." And Johnny goes, "Don't tell me to shut up." And I just go, "Shut up." And he goes, "You tell me to shut up one more time, I'm gonna have to hit you." Look, I'm always going to tell him to shut up again, and he's hoping that I don't say it. And he said, "If you say shut up again, I'm going to have to hit you." So I said, "Shut the fuck up, Jono." And then just out of nowhere, I just went. I remember just waking up at 3 in the morning. I'm actually standing on Robbo's bed, and like I'm like tugging his bed sheets, but like I didn't know what was going on, like because I was just sleepwalking. Robbo's like jumped up in the bed, like, "What the fuck are you doing, Sean?" And I was just tugging his bed sheets. But I didn't know at the time where you got Victor Gyökeres right in front of you as the main striker, and obviously making my Irish debut when he came off. I came on like 60,000, I think nearly 60,000 at Aviva. I don't know whatever it holds, 50, 60,000
something like that, yeah.
Like screaming your name and stuff like that, like because at that stage now it wasn't just League of Ireland fans kind of hoping for me to get a chance. It was all Ireland fans at that stage.
Yeah.
But he's brought more happiness to my life and Claudia's life, like more than anything. Like the day he was born was the best day of my life. Oh, you want to go to him? Go on.
Simba! Oh, he's swinging digs at me. Hello, welcome to Foot Well Irish Football Fan TV. I'm delighted to be joined by the one and only Seanie Maguire. We're here in Kinsale in Cork, where this man is a cult hero, and hopefully he doesn't beat me too bad, but we're going to get straight into it. So here we go, Seanie. Best of luck.
Yeah, legend lad.
Let's go. Lovely, nice and quick.
You're setting the standard, lad.
You go first. Yeah, I'm gonna probably just do the same. My God.
That's not bad.
It's got to tail off. Oh no, don't go down there. Oh no.
I know, lad, come on, bud.
If I get a hole from here, the hole in one, yeah?
Go on, lad. Go on. Oh, birdie, lads. Wow, birdie. Come on. That's done it.
Oh, lads.
Could be here all day, lads. Double bogey.
Right, we go left foot now.
2:30 tonight.
Ah,
look at
lads.
Look, that little toe poke.
I'm gonna just do.
There we go, lads.
What's that? 6? It's a 2.
Double bogey, is it?
What did you get? 3?
Birdie.
I'd say spin it. Beckham style. Yeah.
No, too much of a curl, lad.
Look,
that's a shocker, lads.
I feel a little bit better, but I won't say it until I hit this.
I reckon literally hit it as right
as far
you
as
can,
possible out that way, yeah.
No, same as yourself.
So, Seanie, obviously you've grown up in a traditionally hurling sort of county in Kilkenny. So how did you get into football? What are your kind of earliest memories of football, and kind of who was the player you wanted to be, kind of emulating?
Like the family I kind of grew up in wasn't really like a typical kind of Kilkenny kind of family. Like I think they were kind of more into the football more than anything. But started playing footy at 4 years of age with a local team called Dean Celtic. But obviously traditionally growing up in Kilkenny, you're thrown a hurl.
Yeah.
Obviously before then I was born in England. I moved to Kilkenny when I was
Luton,
one years of age. But like I went to school out in the countryside, primary school, and then I moved into the city, then into CBS, where CBS and St. Kieran's are basically neck and neck every single year for like the All Ireland schools. But not normally like footy players come out of Kilkenny. I think you could go back through the years. I think Michael Reddy, I think his name. Yeah,
it wouldn't be too common, all right. Yeah.
No, there's only been you know Mikey Drennan, like it was on me and Mikey like through the age groups, all the way up till So Mikey went to Aston Villa when he was like 16. Like I think we were like the two kind of best strikers growing up. But yeah, like I was mad into football. My old fella literally used to take me everywhere. I probably wouldn't be the player and man I am today without my old fella. Like, cause he would work on a construction site up in Dublin, up at 4 or 5 in the morning, travel up. On the way back down, then he'd take me into Kilkenny then for training and stuff like that. And even when I moved down to Waterford, I obviously didn't drive 16, 17 when I joined Waterford firstly. He literally used to finish work straight into town, just bring me down. Used to bring in the chicken and pasta. It used to be brilliant. But yeah, as I said there, like you wouldn't normally find yourself being a footy player, being from Kilkenny, but that's the way it worked out. And I suppose when I got to like 14, 15, I knew I wasn't really going to make it as a hurling player. Look, I might have been all right in, like, let's say a county like Cork, but I'm not joking. Let's say, I don't know, like in a different county, like I might have been all right, but look, I wasn't that great. But that's why I kind of moved to football and just concentrate on football. But things could have worked out differently. But I'm grateful for how things have worked out already.
When you talk about football, was there like a World Cup or the Euros or even like a Champions League or anything like that kind of stood out to you? That kind of went like, I remember the '98 World Cup was kind of when I got into football sort of thing.
Not from really young. Like I mean, I remember when Ireland were playing. I think it was 2002 World Cup with Robbie Keane, Niall Quinn.
Yeah.
I remember getting days off school in primary school to go home and watch the
TV.
game and stuff like that. Yeah, they used to wheel the TV and like used to watch the games and stuff. And then they lost in penalties, I think.
Spain, that's right.
Spain, yeah. So, and I was a big Liverpool fan as well. So like players that I used to look up to, obviously you got your Steven Gerrards and stuff like that. But kids always ask me, who was your go-to player that you looked up to? I think it was Michael Owen. Like he was.
Yeah, similarities I see. Yeah.
Very similar. Like he was quick. He was obviously small in stature. Always in behind, and then obviously like he had the same hamstring injury as me when I first went to Preston, but I think back then I don't think he could operate on it, and I think that's when he went to Newcastle and he still had the hamstring issues.
He had to change his game completely.
His game, like he was coming short, and even when he went to United, like he was still obviously scoring goals, but his game was completely changed to what he was when he was at Liverpool.
I think he was a very underrated player because you think he won the Ballon d'Or. It's never even kind of spoken about.
Unbelievable. Like he was the go-to player that I just looked up to, like in terms of just natural ability and obviously just wanting to score goals. Yeah, so that was pretty much it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Go on, curl. Yeah.
It's like a fucking swamp. I'm not going to get much on this. It's right on the... I'm just going to kick it out that way. The hill on this is unbelievable. So you moved to Waterford then and you were playing there. I think you got 14 goals in the first season. In the first division. So how was that, and how was the kind of that professional level going from, say, Kilkenny to Waterford and then playing professionally?
Again, at the time, I probably didn't think there was going to be too much of a difference. Like I thought, like I was playing men's football at 15, 16 in Kilkenny with Evergreen, and then I originally just went down to play with the 19s, and the manager at the time was Paul O'Brien. He said, just look, come and train with us and just see how things are, because I think Kenny Brown and the likes were there, like, so they were in the first division. Went in, trained like couple of days, and I done well, and he just said, look, listen, you can come in full time. And literally after about 2-3 weeks, that's when I just made my debut in, because firstly, obviously, yeah, as I said there, in with the 19s and then just take from there, but things just spiralled then from then. I think I played like maybe 9-10 games. I think I scored a couple of goals, and then next year was the real year then I could really kick on. I signed like a kind of semi-professional contract in with Waterford for the year. And I actually never forget, because the game still haunts me. I think the first game we played was Wexford Youths away. Yeah. We lost 6-0. First game in League of Ireland first division season. But it was probably a blessing in disguise for myself and the whole group, because I was still in this own little bubble, like, oh, I've done well last season for a couple of months.
So almost like a wake-up call.
Wake-up call, yes. And I was like, no, this is proper men's football now, professional football, and things just got better and better from then. Like I think, yeah, as you said, I think I finished with 14 goals. I think
14 and 32 according to Wikipedia.
Is it? Yeah, best friend. But yeah, no, look, it was, I think there was a couple of fellas on 14 goals as well. It was a great season, like I think it was like 17, 18.
Yeah.
But I knew at the end of that season that there would have been a potential now to go to England. But like I still didn't do good enough to warrant to go straight to England. I still had to go on trial, like, you know, like I had to go, I was probably at 4 or 5 different clubs.
But it's back then, it's not like it is now.
No, it's totally different. Like I think, like I played the first division last year. I think it's a totally different standard to what it was 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah, 100%.
I think League of Ireland anyway has gone levels since then. But anyway, funny enough, my first trial was at Peterborough, but Darren Ferguson was manager, which he is now, it's funny enough. But I done quite well. I think we played a couple of games, scored a couple of goals, but he pulls me into the office and he basically just says, look, you probably hear it all the time now with managers telling younger players, like he basically said, like, look, you're too small, you need to go away, we'll have a look at you for next year, bulk up, and then we'll see what happens next year. But then the following week I knew I was going to West Ham on trial, and I didn't go into the reserves on trial. I went straight in for the first team where Sam Allardyce was manager and he had a good look at me. And within again a couple of days he saw enough and he offered me a deal then. He offered me 2.5 years, which, you know, you work all the way up to now at 18 to go play in the Premier League and be a Premier League club. So like I was buzzing. Went back home, told all the family, went back over then. This was November, went back then December and signed. And that was the start of it then. Yeah, I was in with the first team then for the first 6 months, and then things happened then, like, you know, I think I dealt with a lot back then, like in terms of like homesickness, because, you know, I'm at a stage now where I was in 6th year, all my buddies are going into college. I feel like I'm missing out on a bit, but like looking back on it now, it's every boy's dream to go play professionally, but in the back of my head I was still kind of thinking I'm missing out with all my buddies back
There's
home.
also an element of the communication wasn't as big then, FaceTime,
No,
Messenger, all of these, WhatsApp, all that wouldn't have been big at that time.
No, not at all. So, but look, but I think finishing off in England then for that 2.5 years and coming back to Dundalk, Cork, I think it was the best thing I ever did. Like, and see this new rule with players now can't go to England at 16, 17, they have to go over 18.
Yeah, Brexit. Yeah.
I think it's brilliant, like, in a way. You see it now with younger players, like I think the average age in the league for Cork anyway is one of the lowest, and I think it's brilliant. Because it gives them younger players now a chance to kind of like show what they can do. Whereas they go to England like 16, 17, they might be in the under 18s, thrown into reserves, and they might not be able to actually progress in their career. You might have to do leg weights on that knee, bud. Oh, can hell.
That's the good one. I feel like it's going to piss rain now. There we go, 7. Oh, that's just as I say. Have you got a jacket with you? Right, so the score at the moment, we're heading on to hole 3. It's just raining, we're just parked in out of the rain. But I'm losing 7-13. So I don't think I'm going to get this back.
I feel like, innit?
No, but tell me a little bit about kind of West Ham and Sam Allardyce and being around. I think Kieran Sadler was with you around that time as well. Probably Declan Rice as well.
Yeah, he was, yeah. We lived in digs with Declan Rice and Kieran Sadler. Like at West Ham, the digs wasn't normally like a normal digs. There wasn't like 2 or 3 lads. We had a big massive house with like, there could have been up to like 18 players in the house at one time. But yeah, it was unreal. It's been obviously 2.5 years, but basically a year unknown. The likes of Sligo and Accrington, but it was brilliant. Like Sads is still one of my closest mates today. I still keep in touch with Declan as well. Like, been away on holidays where we've went out for dinner like with the 2 girls and stuff like that. Like, and even back then, like you could see the quality that he possessed. But I remember actually being in digs, and like, you know what digs are like. You got like fellas are like 17, like Declan was like 14 at the time, a couple of years younger than me. But like, he'd always mess with the younger lads, like get them into the room, like, and have a bit of crack with whatever. But I remember me and Sads got like me and Declan into like basically just under our arms and like just having a bit of crack or whatever. Like, but we had headlock lad, and like, but he ended up like chipping his too bad. But like we were shitting ourselves, like, and we said, Declan, like, don't go back now and say this to
Don't
the
rat us
digs.
out.
Yeah, don't go back and say this to the digs lady. But I'll never forget. He actually didn't, because he would have killed us. Like we could end up getting fined like a good chunk. But he just basically said he walked into the door. But that's a story that kind of stands in the back of my head. But yeah, but going with like Sam Allardyce, he was brilliant. He was very obviously old school, like. And it was my first time going to England and like seeing that kind of type of manager.
Was Joey O'Brien there as well? When you
Joey
were
O'Brien was there. Who else was there?
I just remember Joey because he would have taken him with Bolton and he would have had him at West Ham as well.
Yeah, he took him everywhere. Yeah, and I think Joey played a lot of games. He came obviously back to Rovers and he done quite well. Now he's at Shells with Damien Duff. So there was a few. Owen Weirn, he was there. I think he's Shells women's manager. Yeah. So he had a good few like players that are at that kind of period, like Elliot Lena, who's at Wrexham, Sads who's still playing, George Moncur, he's down in National League, but yeah, it was good. I loved every second of it. I remember like at the time, I think Matt Jarvis signed for West Ham at the same time, and I went training with the first team, and I remember Sam Allardyce just screaming at him every single day saying, I fucking spent 10 million, you know, get your finger out of your arse kind of thing, like. But he was brilliant. Obviously I didn't really get my chance to play for West Ham. I think I was on the bench once when we got trashed by Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup, and I think the manager at the time just played the reserve team. But look, I'm thankful for those sort of opportunities, just saying West Ham, because I wouldn't be the person and player I am today without those milestones in my life.
We're going to have to hit this one hard and high. That'll do. So, okay, I might be catching it. Maybe the ball switch has worked for me a little bit here now.
I think so, lad. Yeah, let's give it a bit of life.
Well, your one matches you anyway. Yeah. But talk to me about the loans to Accrington and Sligo, and kind of some of the people you were mingling with.
Yeah, so look, Sligo, plain simple, didn't really work out. For 6 months, for 5 months I didn't score a goal. It was when John Coleman came in where really like my football started to change, like I started to do better. Obviously Ian Paraclough was the manager who brought me in. It didn't really work out because I came into a club, I think the year before they won the cup, the year before that they won the league, so there was a bit of expectation, and the last time I was in the League of Ireland I done quite well with Waterford, so I couldn't deal with the pressure, like not scoring, the confidence was low. And
what age are you there? 18ish?
I'm so I would have been 19. Yeah, 18, 19, yeah, so it was going back in 2014, so yeah, still quite young, like. Obviously, like I thought, like, because I was either going to a team in the North Conference or Sligo. Chose to go back to Sligo because obviously better standards, so I thought things would just like go back to Sligo, score a few goals for the year, and then I'm in a good stead and come back to West Ham, but it didn't work out. It's when John came in, John Coleman, he got the best out of me for those couple of months, and then I went back to West Ham for literally a week, and then John Coleman gets the Accrington job, and he brings me up and just said, do you fancy coming to Accrington? And I said, yeah, I'd love to, like League 2. Signed there for the year, and whilst I was up there, like I talked to the lads there, like are still best mates I am today, like John O'Sullivan, Darrell Lenihan, lived with them whilst I was up at Accrington. John was one of my groomsmen at my wedding.
Obviously, for anyone who might be watching, he's playing for Shells now. Just won the league.
Yeah, he won the league last year.
Yeah.
Played a good few games, done really well, because obviously when your buddies go to different teams, you tend to like watch them every single week looking for updates. So I was delighted he won the league last year. But funny enough, I have a funny story with John actually. You probably won't mind me saying it, but that Christmas when we were at Accrington, we had a Christmas do obviously in Newcastle, whatever, like, you know, the Sunday you're drinking all day, like from 10 in the morning or whatever, like, and that night we're in this bar, we're all sitting down or whatever, like, and one of the boys brought in a couple of his buddies, but a couple of his buddies were like being loud and like throwing ice at us or whatever, like, and I stand up and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And they were giving it back to me, and Jono just says, Shawnee, sit down, like, sit down, leave it off. And I was like, Jono, you shut the fuck up as well. And And Johnny goes, don't tell me to shut up. And I just go, shut up. And he goes, if you tell me to shut up one more time, I'm going to have to hit you. Look, I'm always going to tell him to shut up again. And he's hoping that I don't say it. And he said, if you say shut up again, I'm going to have to hit you. So I said, shut the fuck up, Jono. And then just out of nowhere, just went, hit me straight there. Like he was standing up above me. I was like 2 steps down, and he just went like down like that. Like, two of us are best mates, like.
Yeah.
And when it happened, like, I was like, fucking hell, lad, I was sore. I'm like, literally 2 minutes later, we were joking, like, and that, like, cause we were fine about it. But like, the worst thing is we had to go, obviously, because the following day I had a big black eye. So we had to go, obviously, go into John Cohen the following day and basically come up with a spoof story. So we basically, 2 of us just walk into John, the gaffer, like, and was like, look, on the way home from the Sunday night out or whatever, like, some fella hit me. John was like, oh, fuck's sake, look, happily, like, everything's all right, and you've only come away with a black eye. And I suppose all the lads in the change room were talking about it for that week, so like, me and John were like, we're going to have to tell the gaffer the truth here. So Thursday or Friday, went back into him, like, gaffer, like, look, listen, John was like, I actually hit Shawnee that Sunday night or whatever, and he started bursting out laughing. He goes, you should have told me that. I love that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? So, but look, it was.
And you just shit yourself the whole time.
Yeah, it was only a bit of crack. Like me and John will literally talk about it all the time. Like, I think we tell the story at least a couple of times every couple of months, and it's one of those things that, like, our friendship's still quite close. Like, and that was almost 10, 11 years ago, and we're still best mates to this day. Like, you know what I mean? But
top man he is.
Oh, he's brilliant. He's brilliant.
Right, we'll finish this and we'll fly through the next hole, and I'll ask you a question on the next hole.
Yeah.
Just because I'm afraid of it pissing again.
Yeah. So.
Do you want? You might as well go from there. That's cheating.
There you go, lad.
Would I try?
No rules, lad.
Would I try it as well?
I try it.
Ah. Why always me? Ah.
Give us that scorecard, lad. I might as well put 10 for you there.
Rim job. There you go.
What's that?
8.
Yes.
We'll go with 8. I'm going to follow you again, I think. Yeah.
Still could be too hard.
That's a good one, unless it goes down there to the right.
Oh, it's way too hard, lads.
That's going to come back. More chance of you getting it into me. That's in.
No. I think you've done it, lad. You've done it. Yeah.
Now, lads.
The par fella.
Get in there.
4 and 3.
We're getting back into it. So we're on hole 5 and I'm currently getting beat at, what is it, 24?
24-15.
Yeah, so don't think I'm making it back, but look, we're getting there.
Slowly but surely, lad. You were dead and buried after 2 holes.
All right, let's go. That was plain sight.
I don't know why I'm laughing at it. It probably happened to me.
No, you'll clear it out that way. No, that'll do. This one's just a long one. I said I passed down near you, but oh, for fuck's sake. Side foot job.
That'd be sick.
Oh, if that goes in.
That's actually alright, lads. I thought there would have been
Oh, lads. I might be back on track. Oh.
It's going to start rolling now, lad.
So obviously after your loan spells there and getting digged in the eye, you moved, you came back to Ireland with Dundalk. Kind of what was that period like for you under Stephen
it was
Kenny?
tough, lad. When I was like finished up my loan at Accrington, they offered me a deal. I said no because obviously I thought I would have got something better. I played nearly 33 games or something with Accrington in League Two. And funny enough, I thought I might have got like another year at West Ham, but I didn't. Got pulled in the office then when I was back and told, look, there's nothing here for you. I didn't sign back with Accrington. I went on trial again for Wickham. I remember going like pre-season in France, this, that and the other, and again got told like, no, you're not, basically you're not good enough. And then I was stuck in a position where I got to kind of July with teams back in pre-season and like I got no club. And then obviously Stephen Kenny rang me up and said, look, listen, there's a position here for you to come play for us. We'll give you a deal towards the end of the season, and then we'll see how things are come the end of the season. Look, it didn't work out at all. I got like Dave McMillan, Kieran Clduff are literally scoring goals every week in League of Ireland.
This is around the European run as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the start of it, yeah. Richie I think he scored nearly 30 goals.
Yeah.
Darryl was flying it. They're a team that were really like, confidence was sky high, and they're
probably a settled team as well.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, like, and it was hard to break into. Like, I think I ended up playing like 6 games, scored 1 goal or something. I didn't get to play at all. Look, you could say like Stephen didn't really give me a chance. Yeah, he probably didn't. And again, you can say it was just, he had a settled team and it was hard for me to get in. He was probably saying, look, I'm hardly going to take Dave McMillan, I'm going to try to take Kieran Clduff out and put you in when they're scoring goals. So, but I remember like that, the cup final that year in 2015, Stephen pulled me into his office like the day of the game, just basically telling me I'm not in the squad. I'm not making the bench against Cork for that cup final. I actually remember saying like, you'll regret that. Because I remember telling me out for that after the game, that's the words I said to him. Look, looking back on it now, it's easy to go back, yeah, I told him that like, not that you pay for it, but like, you'll regret that decision.
But does that show your character, because you've been rejected over in England, you're coming back, you're rejected in the cup final?
I think
your
sometimes
mentality.
I think I take a lot of that for granted. Like, as I look back on my career, I'm like, I overcome a lot of things in terms of like rejection, as you said there, like setbacks in terms of injuries, and a lot of other things in between. And I've just come back out the other side, and I think, as you're right there, I think I'm stronger mentally than I am anything else. And that's what I'd tell any other kind of young fella playing the game, if they want to get into professional football as a footballer. And look, it worked out. Like, I went, like that Christmas then, Alan Reynolds rings me up and just said, John Coffey wants to bring you into Cork City. You want to meet up with him? And the rest is history.
Right.
This is for you for 4, and this for me for 5.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to miss it though. Yeah.
What's going on here, lads?
That's cheating. Oh, we're finally. So is it? Do you want to stop it?
Yeah.
Oh! The rest is history.
Can roll it, yeah?
There we go. Right, we're on hole 6. It's 21, 29. The comeback is on. What are you saying? Am I pulling it back, or what are you thinking?
You are, lad. As I said earlier, you were dead and buried literally after, I think, your first 2 shots. So you've done well, lad.
Right, here we go. This one, oh, this is actually a lovely one.
Yeah.
Look at this Beckham. Oh, that's nice. It's going to bend back around. Yeah. That could go the whole way in.
No, it's into the sandpit, lad.
Oh, yeah.
I did that on purpose,
we'll do it.
just for the question.
So you said obviously there in the last hole, the rest is history with Cork City, but I mean, as far as your time there, you're the cult hero. Obviously you're back, and we'll come back to that later on, but talk to me about signing for Cork, John Caulfield, and just, yeah, I mean, the season you had, top goal scorer, 18 goals, and obviously you said someone would regret that in the exact same scenario, scoring the winning goal. It was in extra time. Yeah, let's hear from your own mouth.
Yeah, I suppose that year and a half couldn't have went any better. I didn't realise how big of a club now supporter Cork City was until I was actually down here. Like, I remember John saying to not just me but the whole squad at the time, if you win a league title down here, you'll be remembered for the rest of your life. You won't have to buy a drink again in Cork. And we did. We won the cup for the first year, and then we ended up winning the double the following year. Like, you look back on the first year, I scored 29 goals in all competitions. You're thinking, can't go any better that. And I only had a few sniffs after that first year, like in terms of like England. I remember during 2016 in the summer when we played like Genk in the Europa League, I could have went to Belgium. There was a couple of clubs, because I'd done quite well in Europe. I could have went to a couple of clubs in Belgium, but I wanted to just stay. And even towards the end of the year, I didn't really have that many options. I was thinking, I'm going to have to go again here. Like, I'm going to have to do much better. To be fair, I did probably bring it to another level in terms of like obviously as a team, and then like my goal scoring record. But like just Cork in general, like I think
a lot of people in your second season said you single-handedly won the league.
Yeah, like
with your goals, like
people thought like, oh, he's one season wonder in a way, and it was like, no. I want people who said them words eating on the words, and which I did. Like, scored 20 goals or 21 goals in 20 games, or 20 goals in 21 games, something like that.
Ridiculous.
And then that's when I went to Preston. But like, what Cork has given me, not just in football but in my life, it's like I find myself like not a Cork man, but like a part of Cork.
An honorary Cork man.
Yeah, like I mean, like born in Kilkenny. I know I wasn't born in Kilkenny, but born in Kilkenny, like bred into Cork now, because my son is going to grow up as a Cork boy. My wife's a Cork girl. Like, we have our house now in Cork, like, and stuff like that. Like, and I'll be here for the rest of my life. And I generally think Cork people are one of the best in the country.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Best people in the country, and you even see it here, like just down in Kinsale, like it's unreal. But it's given the best years of my life. In terms of footy, like, it couldn't have went any better. Like, I owe a lot to the club. I suppose I owe a lot to John as well, like for like helping me get back in love with football, because I forgot to say, before I joined Cork, in that period between Dundalk and Cork, Shane Keegan, who was manager of Wexford Youths, he rang me up and said, look, it's going to come down to Wexford Youths, I know you're in a bit of a shitty time now at the moment, not really playing Dundalk, do you fancy going to Wexford Youths? And I said, do you know what, I think I might. And I said it to my outfielder, said, look, and Cork came to me in between those times, so I was like, I think you should give Cork a go. And like, looking back on it now, like, that conversation in itself is it's mad now in hindsight, like the butterfly effect, the way, like, if I went to Wexford, where would I be in my life? And now look at me, and I went to Cork, and now I've ended up having 12 caps for Ireland, scoring for my country, having played for nearly 180 times for Preston or something like that. Playing for
There's a lot of timing and luck, would you say? Like, because obviously,
definitely,
you said obviously Cork or Wexford, two different paths, you know what I mean? A lot of it comes down to timing and luck at times.
Yeah, timing's big time. I think sometimes you can make your own luck. Like, I think footy's all about luck though, like in a way. It's about opinions, like, you know, like there's been managers in my career like that haven't fancied me. And then there's managers in my career like, where I've literally been not the go-to person, but like absolutely like love me and trust me more than anything. So it's mad the way footy works out though. You take the highs with the highs and lows with the lows, and I've learned that the hard way, in a way.
My heart was in my mouth there. I thought that was going to go. Right. Just a quick update. We're on hole 10, and Seanie's winning 40-44. But I am clawing it back at the moment. We're on hole 10, so let's see how we get on for the rest of it.
See?
I will. It's the first time I've struck the ball well today. I felt that a little bit. Well, now I'm beside you, I might as well ask you. Just in terms of Cork City as well, you obviously scored a hat-trick in Europe against Laura Talon.
Yeah.
Not too many people do that, especially League of Ireland players. It'd be very rare you'd hear of that, and I think you said off air you're the first Cork player to do it.
Yeah, I think like I'm either at the top or like near the top for goals scored in Europe. If obviously you can qualify as a goal scored in Europe. And I scored the hat-trick, I think, literally a couple of weeks before I went to Preston, so it was sort of a big deal, because at that period of time everyone knew kind of I was going to be a Preston player in the next couple of months. But yeah, like even just going see at that stage now there's 7,000-8,000 at Turner's Cross, huge crowd, literally 12 man. So it was, and even when Turner's Cross is like that, it honestly feels like there's about 20,000 inside the stadium. And I remember that period in my life, like literally I couldn't even step outside my front door without people like coming up to us.
Maguire mania.
Yeah, like it was brilliant. Honestly, the best stage in my career was that year and a half. Like take away playing for Ireland, playing for Preston, but like see that year and a half was, for me, like it was nearly like the pinnacle of happiness, and that's one of the reasons why I've come back. Obviously, like myself and Claudia having our little baby boy and stuff like that, and things off the pitch. But when I put on a Cork jersey, I honestly feel like my happiest seeing Turner's Cross, playing for Cork City. Like nothing else matters in terms of like in football. And I feel like, as I said, Turner's Cross is my happy place, and when I'm playing for Cork City, I think I play my best football. And I continued that confidence then going into Preston back in 2017, and then injuries happen, losing confidence. And in that stage of my career, I honestly thought, like, if I don't end up playing 50 times for Ireland, I feel like that's not a good enough achievement. Like as I said before, I ended up playing 12 times for Ireland. Like you set off at 4 or 5 years of age playing football, that's what you want to do, and I ended up doing it 12 times, and nobody can take that away from me. But do I feel like it was did I underachieve? Probably in that moment in my career, looking for the next 10 years, I probably would have felt like I underachieved. Like from that stage, 2017 to 2025 now, in terms of kicking on with Preston, playing for Ireland, playing more times for Ireland. Look, things don't always work out the way you want it to be, and I'm very grateful for how things have worked out this far. And I still, like, at 30 now, being back at Cork City, I feel like there is a good few number of years of my best football ahead of me.
You're not just coming back for retirement home, like?
Nah, like, if I wanted to do that, I would have come back in 5 years' time, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, especially the way the League of Ireland's growing now, I think it's people are staying in League of Ireland rather than going to League 2 and League 1 in England, and shows how far the league has come. Yeah, big time.
Well, just on Preston, because obviously that's where you got your first call up and stuff like that. Yeah. Martin O'Neill, for someone of him and kind of Roy Keane's stature, what were they saying to you when you came in, and were they on to you? I think they were on to you maybe when you were at Cork as well.
Yeah, because they were on to us. So I signed with Preston at like a pre-contract, like
I think in
right
June.
Before the break, and they came to watch us against Dundalk when I scored a hat-trick. And look, yeah, everyone was at the time were saying I should be called up, should be calling into the team. Yeah, I was probably the most informed player around the Irish Cup. But these, like the likes of Dave McGoldrick, Darren Murphy, yeah, they're all playing like in the Championship and stuff like that. So it's hard to compare, like, but yeah, they're on to us quite a few times. And then when I came into the squad, then like that's when I was like, wow. I mean, with the big boys, at this stage now, I played a couple of times for Preston and stuff like that, and doing quite well in the Championship. And then when I mix around with the big boys, then you go from like playing at Preston and playing for Ireland. I think the levels are just massive in terms of training, the intensity, the physicality, the mentality of the players as well. Away with Ireland is just unreal.
Yeah. Well, you had John O'Shea, Robbie Keane, in squads with them.
Yeah,
even Shane Long. You probably saw similarities with him.
Like a player that burst in behind, good at holding the ball, quite good in the air. He was a player that I looked up to, and then obviously making my Irish debut when he came off, I came on. like 60,000, I think nearly 60,000 at Aviva. I don't know, whatever it holds, 50, 60,000.
Something like that, yeah.
Like screaming your name and stuff like that, like, because at that stage now, it wasn't just League of Ireland fans kind of hoping for me to get a chance. It was all Ireland fans
it was everybody,
at that stage.
It was Moldova your debut, wasn't it?
Moldova, yeah. Come on, the last 15 minutes, and it was.
I was there that day. I remember. Yeah, I even remember the screams of the crowd when you were coming on. You probably felt that, or maybe you were numb because
you don't really hear anything like that. It's mad.
I get you. You kind of go deaf a little bit.
Yeah, you kind of like your adrenaline's so high, and it just spirals over your head.
I'm one after you, so you might as well do it.
Yeah.
Nice. I have a bad feeling about this one.
Nice, lad.
Oh,
unlucky, lad. Unlucky. I was saying nice, lad, and everything.
You turned your back on it.
Yeah. This was 6. Sorry, lad. He's 4.
Shocking. Right, we're on hole 14 now. We're catching up, and I think I'm on 62 and you're on
58.
So there's 4 in it. So when we're not talking, I'm kind of catching up a little bit. But yeah,
you're still in it, lad.
4 holes in it. Let's see how we go. Now you go.
Because if you go, then I know where to hit.
Yeah,
and that's why you're doing that.
I learned from the first 12. Oh, that's nice. Through the goal. I'll follow you there with that one.
Nice, lad.
Oh, I see what you did there. Bit of swaz.
It's going to come back in.
Imagine I got this in from here.
Just follow me, lad.
It always does seem it's like a magnet.
You'll get it in from here, lad.
What a player.
How bad? I'll knock it in and just stand there.
Yeah, might as well. So talk to me about Ireland. Obviously you mentioned you got the 12 caps there. You played under Martin O'Neill. Roy Keane was obviously there as well. Mick McCarthy, and you scored against New Zealand. So talk to me about being in and around the camps and that.
Yeah, it was pretty surreal from the start, because you mentioned earlier that you're walking into an environment where you have players that you watched on the TV, you looked up to, like John O'Shea, like Shane Long, players like that. And even when you look at, like, back in 2017 when I first came in, the year before that, it was just doing well at Cork City, and then you fast forward a year and in the Irish setup with these players.
And that was a lot of the Euros teams, though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was pretty much the whole, like, Wes Houlihan, Dave McGoldrick, Aidan McGeady, some unbelievable players and great servants for Ireland throughout the years. Yeah, I had obviously Martin O'Neill, Roy at the start, and they were brilliant for me. Obviously Roy, like, being from Cork, Cork connections, like, I thought I quite gravitated to him quite well, speaking to him, like, numerous occasions off the pitch, and having really, like, you know, not deep conversations, but like one-to-one for hours upon hours, just talking. Like, there'd be a lot of times where he'd take the mick out of me for having a little fluffy dog, like, because he's mad into his dogs, isn't he, like, and but he helped me a lot off the pitch, like, in terms of, like, cause playing for Ireland, I got injured 3 times, 3 separate occasions with my hamstrings, so he got me onto a few different people. One fella in France, like, because he thought, like, he could, like, relay my jaw, like, or something, because it might be something, like, could be, like, overbalanced on one side, so he'd, like, reline it kind of thing, like, and he got me onto another fella in the UK, so he tried to help me out the best he could, because he knew, like, that I was struggling with, more so mentally, because I was like, I'm breaking down here quite a lot and it shouldn't be happening. So there's been a couple of times I've bumped into Ray in Manchester airport throughout the years, and he's been brilliant, obviously being from the north side of Cork and stuff like that. And then Mick McCarthy and TC come in. Thought, like, Mick, he liked me as a player. I think the more I kind of came into the group and the more I played under him, I think I got more confident, and he saw what I was actually about. Because I think Mick's last 2 games were the New Zealand one and Denmark, I think.
Yeah.
Just right before COVID hit in November.
Yeah.
when Matt Doherty scored a header to make it 1-1, I think.
I know the game you're talking about.
I think it came on the last kind of 20 minutes, half an hour. So he liked us as a player, and I was really pleasing because I was doing quite well at Preston. That's when I started playing as like more of a number 9 at Preston, kind of false number 9. Mick started to kind of play me just inside the left, like an inverted winger with Ireland and stuff like that. So
I think at that time that you had, he was giving a lot of players a chance. Jack Byrne came in, Aaron Connolly came in, Troy Parrott was obviously flying now at AZ.
Started, yeah, he did. He slowly but surely started to bring the younger fellas in and give them their chance. And then COVID probably hit the wrong time for me internationally. That's when Mick left in, and obviously Stephen Kenny came in, and I didn't really get a fair crack at the whip with Stephen. I suppose I was still doing well at Preston. I don't think I actually made a squad initially under Stephen. I think it was more so I was just brought in because some players dropped out because of injuries or suspension, whatever. I think I started one game. I think that was my last game for Ireland against Finland. I might be wrong. Maybe Bulgaria was my last one, but that was my last start anyway. But yeah, look throughout the years, I was involved in the setup for nearly 5 years. Yeah. 12 caps. Look, I would have liked to have more, but like you can't dwell on it too much. Play for your country, score for your country. It's what you want to do when you start off playing football, and thankfully I did it.
You just in terms of, there seems to be a lot of characters within the Irish setup. Was there any kind of funny stories or people you shared rooms with or anything like that?
Yeah, like there's a lot of good characters in football, like massive personalities. I think you probably know it even probably from looking at it from the outside, but like Cal Robinson, I played with him at Preston, he's still a good mate of mine today. Unbelievable player, one of the best characters and personalities you'll ever see in a dressing room. I used to room with a lot of way with Ireland when he came into the setup, and I never really tended to like sleepwalk or anything, but I remember just waking up at 3 in the morning. I'm actually standing on Robbo's bed, and like I'm like tugging his bed sheets, but like I didn't know what was going on, like because I was just sleepwalking. Robbo's like jumped up in the bed and like, "What the fuck are you doing, Sean?" And I was just tugging his bed sheets, and he's fucked us over in the bed, like, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, lad?" But I didn't realise at the time I was sleepwalking, but we always have a bit of crack, like going back in it, through our Preston days. Played with Ireland a few times. Like he's still one of my good mates, and he's still doing well now.
Yeah.
Like with Cardiff and Ireland, like so. I think he's been involved the last kind of couple of times now. So hopefully he scores goals anywhere he goes. I think and
he's versatile.
Yeah, he can play anywhere across the front four. Like he's brilliant. So where do you go here?
It's just straight. Straight, I think. Nice.
That's not nice, lad. Jesus Christ. The fuck
you
is
got
that?
a good connection on it though. Into the sandpit. Doesn't work out badly. Talk to me then, leaving Preston. You were there quite a while. You did score a fair number of goals as well. I wouldn't look back at it as a bad spell or anything like that. It seemed like the fans really liked you. There was a lot of Irish lads there with you as well. But you ended up leaving there and you went to Coventry and kind of Carlisle. How were those spells?
Yeah, like at Preston, looking back on it, I think the first year in particular is my best year. First 3 years I enjoyed it, then in the last kind of couple of years where I didn't really score as many goals as what I liked, but still done quite well, like playing in a position left wing, right wing. Like I suppose I'm always down as like Seanie Maguire, ST striker, so you're going to get clatters like from people saying like you didn't score enough goals. Much I probably didn't, like looking back on it now, but I've done quite well. As I said earlier, 180 times played for the club. Don't know how many goals, nearly 30 goals or whatever for Preston. And then I go on to the Coventry. I felt at the time where I knew obviously Ryan Lowe was manager, but he was bringing in Liam Delap and Tom Cannon at the time. I knew he was bringing them in that January, and I knew game time was going to be limited. And then there was a few clubs sniffing, and I felt the Coventry were the best suited. But I didn't know at the time where you got Victor Gyökeres right in front of you as the main striker, and Matty Godden, who's doing well at Charlton now, who's...
How good was Gyökeres?
Oh, the best.
Could you tell? Like,
even them would. Like, I even said it, even that summer, I said, somebody in the Premier needs to take a punt on him because he's actually ridiculous. I remember my first training session, left foot, right foot, side nettings, top corners, everything. I never seen anything like it. He always did this one thing where he'd back into a centre half and he'd turn him in one swivel. And the centre half could be twice the size of him, but he'd do it every single time. You've probably seen the playoff final when we played Luton. And there was no surprise now he's one of the hottest strikers in Europe at the moment. And he probably will end up back in the Premier at one stage. But he's unbelievable. That 6 months I really enjoyed. Mark Robin's brilliant manager. Again, I didn't play that much, but like I don't begrudge anyone for that because we went on a run that we were kind of mid-table, just in between mid-table, bottom in the league with commentary. We ended up going on a mad run where we finished in the playoffs. And Mark Robbins obviously did unbelievable at the club. Literally that close to making the club a Premier League team.
The cup as well.
They won the club the year after then as well. Like, again, should have been in the FA Cup final. Now he's doing at Stoke now, doing really well for himself. Great manager. I was surprised to I was surprised to see him leave commentary at the time. Obviously Frank Lampard doing really well there, but yeah, moving on then to Carlisle. Look, I knew it was going to be a challenge. Like, I knew it was going to be tough. Going to a team that were obviously not picked to go up from League Two at the time, and it didn't really work out. I mean, finished bottom of League One. We're pretty much relegated from February that year. Maybe this time last year we were pretty much relegated. Played over 30 games. Again, I still enjoyed it. Like, I mean, I wanted to stay in Preston. I didn't want to move too far from my house in Preston. So
you was a young baby then.
We had a baby. No, so that was the year after. So, but like that kind of summer, Claudia had a ectopic pregnancy. So I wanted to stay close to her. Like, you know, like it was easy for family to come over from Cork, Dublin to Manchester. So, I felt it was the right time to just stay in Preston. Did a year there, played a couple of games, 30 games, got relegated. But again, I met people there that I'm going to be friends for life. And now I'm back in Cork the following year.
You little bastard, go left. Same as me.
Fuck you anyway, lad. Well, you have to set the standard now. I've done the last 16 holes.
Go on. After you, son. That's going to end up in the same spot. Literally.
He's touching it again, is it?
Now you're following me.
Yeah.
We're here in Cork. Obviously, a lot of your kind of journey and platform came from Cork City. They were a club that took a punt on you, and probably you took a punt on them as well. But did you feel like you owed them something? That you had to kind of come back and, I suppose, help them get promotion? How did the whole move come back? Has the team got in contact, or what way did it work?
I definitely felt like I owed Cork something, because they literally picked me up from my lowest point and gave me pretty much everything. Not just the football club, but the people of Cork, the city, everyone. And I know I said it before when I came back a couple of months ago, but I genuinely wanted to come back where I felt like I could give a lot and help the club get back to where it once was when I was first there, competing at the highest level of League of Ireland, cups, leagues, getting back into Europe. And I genuinely think over time the club will get back there, and especially bringing Keats back as well, the two of us. I know there's expectation both of our shoulders, but I genuinely think the club will get there, and I'll do my best to help the club get back there. But yeah, the move came about. Tim gave me a phone call straight away when the League One season finished, and just said, look, there's an option here. you know there's an option here of coming back to Cork. Just whenever you feel like it's right, just give me a ring and we'll look to settle things. And I said, look, Claudia's due middle of June, so once maybe 4 or 6 weeks have passed, I'll give her a ring and see how things will progress. So obviously, we have Romeo early to mid-June. I wanted to kind of do some pre-season training myself. Went away with the PFA camp, came back, and I spoke to Tim then. There was obviously a good few League of Ireland clubs onto us at the same time, but it would have never felt right going somewhere else, because I would have been a hypocrite, because I said I was always going to go back to Cork when I was finished in England. But like, even going back in that, I think this time last year, kind of last Christmas, I always felt that I wanted to go back home. Not that I was done with England, but I think just with family and stuff like that, I just wanted to be settled. And as we've said earlier, like, I feel like I'm like basically a Cork man now, family and stuff like that. So it's good to be back and good to be settled.
And just on Cork, you know, you're coming back there in the first division, so is there an element of that? You said obviously other clubs were on to you. I know you're never going to choose them, but is there an element of like, we have to get up? I know they were already in a really good position either way, but to just be there and be able to help the team get back up, is that?
I think when I was speaking to him at the time, he's like, look, we're pretty much there, so it's more so having you ready for next year. Come in now, score a few goals, and that'll be that. And then as I mentioned earlier, bringing Keats back. Keats has done well for Cork in the past couple of years. Done well in the League of Ireland, so having two of us back now, there's going to be goals there for us. So we're going to have to be the top of our game to help this club get back to where they once were this year.
I think if you do that, you might have the keys to the city.
Yeah, as Coffey said before, like, I think if we do well, I'm sure you won't have to pay for a drink in Cork again. No.
You little fuck. I might have fucked it there.
That was 3 for you. I think this is 3 for me now.
Yeah. Oh, it's a swimming pool.
I'll leave that in there.
I know you, because I won't get that in with that ball there.
That's cheating.
I have a better chance of getting it from this side anyway. Oh,
shot 5.
My chance to get it back.
Yeah, I think you're fucked now, Wood.
Yeah. At least I clawed it back a little bit. Yeah, Ashley, you can lead the way this time. Right. Follow the yellow brick road.
Yeah, Wood.
Follow the yellow brick wall. Oh yeah.
Who's there? Ah.
He's not bothered, he wants the ball. So, Seanie, you've won. I think I clawed it back to about 5 in the end.
So I think the score ended up being 81-86.
I'll take that. I mean, I was 12 behind at one stage.
And you're using your right foot for most, with and you're left footed.
With a knee brace
with
on.
A brace. So.
But talk to me about this little fella and what he's done for you and your life.
But he's brought more happiness to my life and Claudia's life, like, more than anything. Like, the day he was born was the best day of my life. I mean, like, waking up every day, just bringing him out. So the day he was born has been brilliant. Like, he's got to a stage now where he's on the go every single day.
Right now?
Even right now, like, he just sees the footballs now and he's wanted to go. He's not just at that walking stage yet, but I mean, it's the best thing in life. Like, I think having kids, like having him now, it's one of the main reasons. Obviously, we wanted to come back to Cork to make sure he's surrounded by family, friends, nan and granddads. Obviously, getting settled into our new home and stuff like that. Like, I think in England would have been quite tough, like, just for both of us, because the options that we had in England, where we would have been away from home like 4 or 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So it would have been tough on Claudia. So I always said, like, she did it for me for like 7 years. So I think it was time to, like, come home now with him now as well. So to definitely it, lad. Boy, he's a mad little thing, aren't you, bud? Huh?
Good lad, eh?
Huh? Who's that?
High five.
Your friend?
He's laughing at me. But no, so obviously you're the next generation.
Yeah.
But you're kind of helping out the next generation
Yeah.
because you have an academy now. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, so myself, like I think one of my...
He likes the Cork badge.
Oh, he loves it, lad. Anytime after training, t-shirt, jumper, anything. But what are you doing, brother? Yeah, so one of the things I wanted to do when I come back to Cork was to help the next generation, because I felt like, oh, God bless you, bud. God bless you. One thing what I didn't have when I was younger, have this kind of help from professional footballers, ex-professional footballers, of doing an academy. So Keith always wanted to do one, so we had a good chat for a good couple of months, and we said, well, look, we'll go in it together. So we set it up a couple of months ago. So in the next kind of 4 or 5 weeks, we're hoping to, when the weather starts to get a little better, I know we're doing a national talk to do kind of different kind of age groups from the age of like 6 to 15. So hopefully that'll be up and running very soon. But yeah, it's called SR Elite Academy. Seanie and Rory's
We'll have a
Academy.
link for it as well.
Yeah, please, lad. So thanks very much for that.
He's getting a bit restless.
Yeah.
Hey, but here, listen, you won. Fair play.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for your time.
Yeah, legend.
Absolute gent.
Legend.
Thanks very much,
Yeah,
Tony.
sure.
Guys, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll speak to you all soon. Thanks very much.
Oh, you want to go to him? Go on.
Simba. Oh, he's swinging digs at me now. He nearly swinging a dig at me, yeah?